Hey, Liam. It's always good to see you. How's everything going?
Pretty good, actually. But something happened yesterday that I just can't stop thinking about.
Oh, now you've got me curious. What happened?
I was in a meeting yesterday, and everyone was speaking English. Nobody was using difficult words or trying to sound impressive. They were just having a normal conversation. But everything flowed so naturally?
How did you feel about that?
That's exactly the problem. The moment I started talking, it felt completely different. It felt like every sentence was a new beginning. I'd say something, stop, think, say something else, and stop again.
Do you know what I find most interesting about what you just said?
What?
Here you never said you didn't know the words, so my guess is your problem isn't grammar either.
Then what is it?
Here's the trick. You need to find your balance.
What do you mean by that?
English is just like riding a bike. You need flow to keep moving forward. Every time you completely finish one idea and stop to build another one from scratch, it's like putting both feet on the ground.
Wow, I never imagined speaking worked like that.
Most people don't. That's why they spend years trying to fix the wrong problem.
The wrong problem.
Let me ask you this. Yesterday, did those speakers actually use more complex English than you? Think about the words they used. Were they difficult?
No, not at all. Everything sounded surprisingly simple.
Exactly. Simple words, simple grammar, simple ideas. But there's one key difference. They weren't trying to build perfect sentences. They were continuing their ideas instead of constantly creating new ones.
I'm not sure I understand.
Let's try a little experiment. Imagine I ask you, what did you do last weekend? What would you usually say?
I'd probably say, I visited my parents. We had lunch together. Then I came home.
Perfect. Is there anything wrong with those sentences?
I don't think so.
Neither do I. They're all correct. But listen carefully. I visited my parents. Stop. We had lunch together. Stop. Then I came home. Stop. Every single sentence forces your brain to hit the restart button.
That's exactly how it feels. Like I'm constantly pressing reset.
Right. Now listen to this version. I visited my parents last weekend because we hadn't seen each other in a while, so we had lunch together. And afterward, I came home and watched a movie.
Wow, that's my exact story, but it sounds so much better.
It is.
And you didn't even use difficult vocabulary.
Not at all.
So why does it sound so much smoother?
That's today's secret. Fluent speakers don't sit there asking themselves, what sentence should I build next? They ask something much simpler. How can I keep this idea going?
I think that's the first time I've ever heard someone explain fluency that way.
And we're just getting started. By the end of this video, I'll teach you how to do that properly with your own phrases.
Okay, I'm really interested, but I do have a question.
Go ahead, Liam.
How can one little change make such a big difference? I mean, we're still using the same English words.
Have you ever watched someone dancing?
Yeah?
What makes a great dancer look great?
Their movements.
Right, but think a little deeper. Is it just the movements themselves, or how they connect one movement to the next?
Oh, I think it's the connection.
Exactly. If someone freezes after every single step, even perfect dance moves start looking awkward.
That's so true.
Speaking works the exact same way. Learners usually focus on individual words, but listeners pay attention to the flow.
So they're not really hearing separate sentences.
Not consciously. They're just following the idea.
That's interesting. Because I've always focused on making every sentence 100% correct.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Accuracy is important. But imagine watching a movie that pauses every 20 seconds.
That would drive me crazy.
Conversations work the same way. People don't enjoy a conversation because every single sentence is grammatically flawless. They enjoy it because the ideas keep moving naturally.
Wow. I think I've been treating English like a written school test this whole time.
What do you mean?
Every sentence feels like a separate question on an exam. Finish one, stop. Start another, finish it, reset again.
That's exactly what most learners do.
But native speakers don't think like that?
Not usually.
Then what are they doing differently? How do they keep it going?
They use simple connector words. Think of them as small bridges between your thoughts. Words like because, so, and then, which means, or that's why.
Connector words? Like grammar conjunctions?
Exactly, but don't overcomplicate it. You don't need fancy academic vocabulary. Watch what happens when we use just 3 basic connectors: because, so, and then.
Show me.
Okay, remember your weekend story? Instead of saying, I was tired, I stayed home, I watched a movie, 3 separate sentences, 3 stops, you build one continuous flow. I was really tired, so I decided to stay home and watch a movie, which turned out to be amazing.
Wow. It sounds like one smooth thought instead of 3 choppy facts.
Precisely. You didn't add complex grammar or big vocabulary words. You just stopped putting your feet on the ground after every step. The connectors do all the heavy lifting for you.
So I'm not learning new English. I'm just gluing the English I already know together.
Spot on, Liam. That's how you turn short, robotic sentences into a natural, engaging story.
You know what's crazy?
What?
I always thought fluent speakers just had faster brains.
I've heard that one a lot.
But now I'm starting to think, maybe they just interrupt themselves less.
Liam, that's probably the most important realization you've had today. Fluent speakers aren't constantly creating new beginnings or hitting the reset button. They're just protecting their momentum.
Momentum. I have a feeling we're going to keep coming back to that word.
We definitely are.
Okay. I think I'm finally starting to see the full pattern now.
Good.
But I have another question.
You know me too well. If this is really the secret to natural fluency, why don't English teachers talk about it more often?
That's a really thoughtful question.
Honestly, I think it's because vocabulary is easy to test, grammar rules are easy to organize into textbooks, pronunciation has clear rules, but momentum and flow, those are much harder to put on a whiteboard.
That makes so much sense. We spend years memorizing lists for exam papers, but real conversation is all about keeping that momentum going.
Exactly. Fluency isn't about knowing every complex word in the dictionary. It's about connecting the simple ideas you already have without stopping to doubt yourself.
So next time I'm in a meeting or a conversation, instead of freezing to build the perfect sentence, I just keep moving forward with simple bridges like because, so, and then.
Exactly. You stop putting your feet on the ground, trust your flow, and let the ideas guide your language.
Honestly, this completely changes how I view practicing. I feel so much lighter already.
That's the power of changing your mindset. And speaking of keeping the momentum going, I'm curious about everyone watching right now.
Oh, true. What about you guys? Do you usually stop and press the reset button after every sentence? Or do you already use connectors to keep your story going?
Drop your answer in the comments below. We'd love to read your experiences and see which connector word you're going to try using today.
Yes. Tell us in the comments. And if you want to take this even further and train your brain to stop translating completely,
Make sure to watch our next video right here, Brain Techniques to Think in English. We dive deep into practical exercises to help you drop the mental translation for good.
I'm clicking on it right now. See you guys in the next lesson.
See you next time.
Bye.